Hi, and welcome to EWC4U Writer's Craft. My name is Jen Travers, and I am your instructor for this course. I am currently teaching at Prince Edward Collegiate Institute in Picton, Ontario, and I've been here for nearly 20 years. I'm both an English teacher and a social sciences teacher. I have taught many courses online, and this is my second time going through Writer's Craft, and my first time doing it in an octomester. Last octomester, I taught social sciences courses, and I will tell you it was a learning experience to try and fit an entire semester's work into 5 weeks. With this octomester, it's a different course and a different opportunity to try some of the same strategies, but also continue to work with you to see how we can get through this course. So what I thought I would do is I would introduce myself and give you a little tour of how I've set up Brightspace. A number of teachers will set up their course very differently, and I completely understand why it may be a little confusing if you've done a course before to follow how I've organized this course. As of presently, I haven't completely got everything uploaded to the news feed and all the other instructional pieces that I would like to have. So I'm going to take you through what my course would look like that I did last octomester and just some of the key contents that I would like to show you. Here are some of the key components that I would like to show you. Number one is Course Home, where you can find all of the key components of this particular course. When you first log in and have the course content here, that you'll actually see all of these components. There are some key things that I want you to pay attention to here, that I use the Course Home as one of my main places in which I can communicate with you as a student. So on that main page, there is a news feed. That's what this is right here. Mine may look very different than yours. So I'll try and view it here as a student. Some key components that I would like you to pay attention to is, one, that this news feed here is how I communicate with you in relaying information about templates you might need, the schedule for the day, any extra resources that you may need, or where I post these videos in particular that are instructionals or tutorials in order to be able to do your work for the day. Other things that I would like you to pay attention to, right here, yours won't look like mine, but there will be an opportunity in which to set up your apps account. When you logged in, and because this is a board provided email, you actually have a login provided from this board. You have your first two initials, then 3 digits, then your last 2 initials, and then at apps.hpedsb.on.ca. I would highly recommend that when you log in to access all your Google widgets, that you use that account and your login and password from that account. When you were given that account, you were given access to all of the Google apps. The other thing this allows you to do is to create something in Google using forms, using docs, using sheets, using a number of different applications, even slideshows. And when you access this, it allows you to be able to hand them in. You cannot hand in a Google Doc until you have activated this widget. So where it says right here, or where this little part of the Course Home is, I need you to activate your Google Apps account so that it looks like this. So over here is your news feed where I will keep you updated. You will often find that I have a number of different ways of posting a schedule. So through experimentation last octomester, I normally post these. They're a lot smaller when we're doing it in semester. However, students found it helpful to see what was due day by day. What many students indicated was that that schedule was too overwhelming. So what I would do is I would take one day at a time and I would post what the day's work was for that particular day. Some days there needed to be a link to a video. There might be a template that I need you to access. It can be available in content, but sometimes I just put it in here. So this is just a picture that I have inserted. If you want to actually access the links, then I usually post right below the schedule and access to those links so you can open up the Google Doc and actually be able to access those things. So I've covered the newsfeed and the Google widget that you need to activate in order to hand in anything from your Google account. Something else that I would like to draw your attention to on that course homepage is the calendar. Now yours might look like this, so you need to open up that calendar, and wherever you see a blue dot, that would indicate that there is something due on that particular day. So you can either click it there, or I would highly encourage you to open up the upcoming events. In this particular one, there are no upcoming events. I'm going to go back to October, and you can see all those blue dots. That would indicate that you have something due on that particular day. When I set up a Dropbox or a discussion, it links it to the calendar. And so you can either find that schedule here, but you can also find out what's due day by day by looking at the calendar. What you can do is, if you wanted to know what's due on a particular day, then you can actually click on it, and down below here it will actually show you what those assignments are. The extra thing that this does in order to function is when you click on that in the calendar, it actually opens up the Dropbox or the assignment box so that you can actually access it from here. In each of those, I provided what the outline is from the content, and then you can either access this through the content or you can access it through the calendar. When we look at the icons that are up here, there's some very important ones. You can actually access everything you need from all of these icons. However, I highly encourage you to pay attention to the content. So in the course home, you'll actually see that the schedule will encourage you to read certain content and to make notes on it. And so how do you access that content? For example, in this course, it's saying access Unit 4, Activity 3, and read through the content. In your content, you will see everything that I've opened up to you. For many students, I don't open up every single unit and every single assignment. When you open this up, you may only see Unit 1. You may not even see Unit 2, 3, and 4, or when you open them up, you may not see anything in it. I have closed those because we're not ready to work ahead to those components. So if I've asked you to go to Unit 4, Activity 3, then you can actually go in here, Unit 4, Activity 3, and open up the content. When you read through the content, it gives you background information that you could and should be making notes on, as well as going through. This outlines all of your assignments. This symbol indicates that it's a Dropbox or an assignment. Here you can see the outline of the assignment, you can access the rubric for evaluation, and you can also activate the Dropbox. Just as a reminder, that Dropbox can also be activated through here. If you know the assignment that you're working on and you're not working within content and you want to come in and hand in that assignment, there are two other places that you can find it. Again, you can do it in the assignment Dropbox where you open that up. And the other one is looking in the course home in the calendar where you can access the Dropbox or discussion there. So as we're going through, things that I have done so far is your course home, newsfeed, and calendar, activating your Google widget. The next thing I want to talk about is your email and notifications. Let's go back to that main page. At the top here, you will notice a number of icons, and up here is your way that you can communicate with me. When you click on the mail, you can email me directly. In your login information, you are also given access to my board provided email. Some students choose that as a way to message me. You can also do it within the program. If I send a new alert, when it comes to things that you have subscribed to or conversation threads, you may notice that there's a little icon like this, a little orange bubble at the top up here. That's to indicate there's something that you need to pay attention to. Update alerts means that I've posted something new in the newsfeed, or there's something that you have received back as feedback or a grade. And you can see those notifications that something new has happened to your account here. When you click on that, it will actually tell you what your notification is, and that whether it's a due date, whether it's something that's handed back, or whether there's something that you need to pay attention to. The main way to get a hold of me is to email me. I am quite efficient at getting back to emails. The other thing that I would highly recommend is that we can also do a Google Meet, where I can send you a link that we can schedule through email, so that we can have a time and a place, and I can send you the link, and that we can actually have a Google Meet. You do not have to have your camera on, but I know that many students have benefited from having a verbal conversation rather than a point-by-point over email. So those are some of the key notifications and a way to communicate with your teacher that are vitally important to your success in this course. When you go through your course, I'm going to take you through content unit number 1. This is something that you can start on day 1 of the course. Many of you don't need to complete the orientation course because you have completed a D2L online course before. For those of you who haven't, I would highly recommend going through this orientation course. It is not evaluated, it is not for marks. However, it shows you all of the key functions that you need to know in order to work this program. Let's go into unit number 1, activity 1, that you can start on Thursday, but you will definitely be engaging with by Friday. As we scroll down, here's some information and some pieces that you can read through, and you might even want to jot down in an ongoing notebook that you, whether that's on paper or whether that's in a Word document or a Google Doc. As we go through here, we've got an assignment coming up. It's talking about building a writer's community. This symbol here indicates a discussion. You can actually join the discussion here given the prompt here. So you can enter into a discussion using this location. Something else about Unit 1, Content 1 or Activity 1 that I want you to pay attention to is that there are many moments that are called metacognitive moment or notebook moments, where it's asking you to do something, but it says to record in your writer's notebook. As I mentioned before, and as is written here, what you could and should do is create your own notebook, whether that's on paper, whether that's a Word document, or an ongoing Google document. These are moments that will help you build ideas to complete your assignments. Some students have tried to just complete it via the drop boxes and the assignment outlines, but I highly encourage that in order for you to have all of this information, you really, really, really need to read the content and understand the background information in order to complete that. Both of these ask you to record it in your writer's notebook. That means there's no Dropbox there. You simply need to put it in your own documents, and these will help you build up information in order to complete the assignments. When we look at the discussions, so those are assignments or even discussions. Something that I want you to pay attention to is how to complete a discussion. So if you are to go in there, it often asks you to post about the prompt or the information that it's asking you to participate in. When you go into a discussion, there are 2 key parts that you need to know about. 1, starting your own thread. So you will see up here is an outline as to what you need to complete. If I want to post my own information, I simply click this button, type in a heading, and the information that I want to add below. However, in some discussions, it will actually ask you to contribute to the discussion by posting in someone else's thread. So how do you do that?